welcome to Tool Time with Tara. Little early today. Sometimes do Tool Time at noon, but I had to do it even earlier today at 11. So hopefully not everyone will be watching the replay, but I totally understand. Maybe somebody who's taking an early lunch, or maybe they just got up and it's they're having their coffee watching Tool Time. So if you've watched Tool Time before, then you know you are in have a fun hour in store for you. We are going to play with some of Creative Memory's newest tools. Before I do that, I'm gonna do a couple announcements. If this is your first time here, you will want to like and comment so that you are entered to win $10 in CM credits, and you can use those on the Creative Memories website. You don't have to be a customer of mine necessarily. As long as you do those things, comment and like, you are eligible to win. And I'm just trying to get the bot to cooperate here and start collecting entries. So thank you. I see you all hopping in to say hello. It's good to see you ladies on here today. So, and you did the right thing by commenting and liking, and thanks for the share, Faith. Appreciate that as well. All right, this coming weekend, starting July 12th, is the virtual crop, Creative Memories virtual crop. Now, my retreat in the mountains starts on the 14th. One of my retreats in the mountains starts on the 14th and goes to the 18th. So if you are coming to the mountains, then you will have an opportunity to work on those in the mountains. And for everybody else, you can participate in the Creative Memories virtual crop. You'll need to join the group, and then you're going to add the hashtag Daytona Area Scrapbooking to your posts, and then you'll be entered to win CM credits from me. So you'll have until Tuesday night, the 16th at midnight. So plenty, you'll have the weekend and even some time after. So I like to give you a heads up when the virtual crop is coming up. And then from the mountains, we will have a special Let's Taco About It from the mountains. And so you can meet some of the memory maniacs that are in the mountains with me starting this Sunday. Very exciting. And then Techie Tuesday, July 23rd at noon, we will be talking about CM custom 8x8 albums. And then this is a preview of the July card class. They're whimsical and fun and will contain watercolor painting. So just a little bit of accent for the watercolor. They're gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're not part of the subscription, you'll want to go to DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com, look for that July card class on July 30th, and purchase your kit so that you can join us. And then Scrappy Happy Hour. Yay, finally got one on the calendar. It's been a busy summer. And so that will be at Cherry Hill Ice Cream August 4th at 2 p.m. When you sign up, you'll choose page kit or mini trio card kit. And then you'll make your decision of which ones, because I'll have a variety of each that day. And so bring a friend to that. And then August 6th, project recipe right here. We will be playing with this project recipe, and that's always a good time. Make sure you RSVP for that so that you get the link for the PDF. And then in August, if you haven't signed up, it's not full, but it's getting there. So that is in about a month, Scrapapalooza. And so you can sign up for that right now on my website. That is at the VFW in Port Orange. And then I did open up a couple extra spots. Finally talked to somebody on the Voyager of the Seas to find out how many tables they have, how many 6-foot tables. So I was able to open up a couple more spots for that. And many thanks if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel. It is the quickest way for you to watch older content maybe some videos that you've missed, and it's arranged by topic. So you can go straight to a tool time playlist if you like those, or project recipe if you like them, or Techie Tuesdays if you need some tech help. It's the quickest way because, you know, Facebook, there's so many posts that it gets lost on there. It's hard to find them. All right, and just one more reminder, if you're hanging out and you haven't commented, you'll want to comment and like so that you are entered to win some CM credits. So these ladies that have already commented are entered to win. Thank you. But if you're watching and you haven't commented, just say hey, and you will be entered as well. All right. Well, I am excited about today. Oh, the YouTube, it's Daytona Area Scrapbooking. Same as Facebook. Good morning, Nancy. All right, let's see. We are going to, I'm going to add this on here just in case people pop on and they miss the announcement. That way, if they read that little banner that goes across the bottom, they will remember to comment. All right. So I'm ready to play. How about you? Let me switch over to the overhead camera here. And we are going to get playing. All right, so we're going to play with the fishnet. I was really hoping that the UPS man would bring my boxes so I could throw in as a bonus the new pet punches, but my order is due to arrive today, but has not arrived yet. So we're going to stick with what was advertised, and that is the Curious Crab Border Maker punch, Border Maker cartridge, and that's part of our Border Maker system. So you do need the system to use this punch. And then the fishnet border punch, and this is a standalone punch, so you don't need any other equipment except for cardstock or paper to use this. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can use both of these. I'm going to kick it off. I was thinking to myself, oh, I should have saved. I should have looked at when the next, because you know I usually like to scrapbook retreats on tool times and project recipes, and I thought, oh, I should have looked at when the next Volano retreat is. Well, that's one of my next retreat to scrapbook is a Volano retreat, which is my retreat to the beach. So these would be perfect for that. So I actually looked, and it's the next one. I didn't have time to print the pics. So I'm going to just make the pages, and then I'll print the pics and add them, and I'll post those pictures after. I'm going to do, I don't know how many of you watched on Wednesdays ever, Noreen from the Creative Memories home office. She would do a Wednesday like tutorial, and she did this really cool, showed how to do this really cool square page, and she actually used the crab punches. I'm going to do a little variation of that so that you can see the crab punch in action, and also maybe get an idea of how you can use this page for for one of your other projects. All right. So it's really simple, actually. It has a beautiful effect when it's done. But it's real simple. You want to start with a page that has some good contrast, meaning so lighter on the front, or lighter on one side, darker on the other side. And then you're just going to cut your page into 3 4-inch strips. Now you're only going to need 2 for the border. So, and then the other you can use for mats. And since I was looking for a piece that was blue and white, so I found this like navy, and it has some black hearts. So that'll be perfect for the retreat to the beach. Oh, I'm missing a light here. Oh, please. I don't know that that made that much of a difference, but so I really didn't need all three because I'm going to use white for to map my photos because I'm using red as my background. So the little crabs will be red. That's a lot of red. So I decided I want to use white for my mats. All right. So the way you do this, 2 4x12-inch strips, and then you see they're the same, but when you miter them and when you flip them, you need them to be cut on a different angle, and that can get confusing. So all you need to remember to do is kind of flip them over, make them like a sandwich. And then you'll get the cut that you need. And then you can do these separate, or you can do them together if you're brave. And you just want to know which line you're cutting on. And in my case, I'm cutting on the line number 2 on here. So I am good to go. And with this 4-inch strip, you should be able to pretty much get all the way up to that top corner. So what you end up is 4 triangles like this. Okay, so again, super simple so far. So let's just show, and you can go back on the Creative Memories virtual crop group and you can watch this video by Noreen, and she shows it like this on one page. You need to remember to tuck it under, kind of like, all right. So you're going to tuck the little skinny tails underneath. All right. So then that is the effect that you get. Except I don't know why mine doesn't look square. I probably don't have something lined up right. Doesn't that not look square? Maybe my blue piece wasn't square. All right. Oh, I guess it looks square on the monitor, but not so much square here. All right. So that's basically it. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut some crabs out of these side pieces. And so we're going to add some crabs to the mix here. I'm also going to add some 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 so that I don't have to lose much of my photo when I print them, because I did look ahead to see how many pictures I had from that retreat, and it was August of 2020. So to get 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 out of one sheet of 12 by 12, and hey, everyone that's popping on, thank you for watching on YouTube. Appreciate that. So what you're going to do is I've got 4 1/4 dialed in, and I'm just going to go to 6 1/4. Now there's a line on the side of my trimmer right here, and that shows where the blade cuts, and it's 1 inch from the front. So what I like to do is go up to where I want to stop, which would be 7 1/4 at the front, so that the middle, which I can't see, is at 6 1/4, and plunge down. I'll hear the paper pop and then go back. Okay, so that's one. That's the start of one. Now this side, I'm going to go to 4 1/4. I turned it, and I'm going to go to the same thing, 7 1/4. Well, actually, I'm going to go all the way to where this cut is, and then I'll trim off the back. So I'm going to. So now I've got another 4 1/4, and I'm going to trim it up to 6 1/4 right here. Okay, so I got 1 started. It's not done yet. 2. Now I'm going to turn this. Again, I can't just go 4 1/4 all the way across, and I don't know why I just got all out of focus here. What just happened? Come back. Sometimes the white has a little problem. What's going on here? Why are we all fuzzy? That is so bizarre. Let's come down and see if that, I mean, it's not me, right? It was fuzzy. I don't know if it's, you thought it was your eyes? I thought it was my eyes for a second. That is bizarre. Let me switch over camera and then switch back and see what's going on here. I don't know if it's my internet. One of those days, that's right. Oh, this one's perfectly clear. Let's see. Oh, now it's clear again. Okay. That's all right. So just restart. But what was I saying? Okay, so I can't go 4 1/4 over 3 times because that would be over 12 inches. So that's why we have to turn. So then the next one is going to go like this. And some people do it with 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. I just prefer a thinner mat myself. So I don't love a super thick mat. That's just me. So I'm going to end up with these little pieces. All right. And so then the next piece is going to go like this. And then the last piece like that. So that's how you get 4. That's how you would get 5 by 7s as well. So I probably didn't need to go through all this for 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, but you do the exact same process for 5 by 7s, which is really what I. But if you just wanted to go with 4 by 6s, which is also a great idea because then you can get 6 mats out of it, and then you just trim your photo a little bit. All right, so back to our square here. And now I kind of went down too far with my camera. Let's see how the camera cooperates. Now I can add some mats on here. And like I said, the red is a little bright. So you can play with how you want to add those on. But what I'm going to do, and I haven't even started punching the crabs yet, what I'm going to do is actually turn these 2 pieces into a 2-page spread because I do a 2-page spread for each of my retreats. So we can play with how we want this to be. You could go like that. We could go like this. That kind of looks like a curtain. That would be a fun effect to do if you were doing like play pictures. And we haven't even gone with the punching, but I kind of wanted just to see, okay, the hearts are going upside down if I do it like that. Not that that really matters. I can do that one. Maybe like that. And then I've got my mats over here and I can decide. Again, I'm going to be, when I print my pictures, they're going to cover up a lot of this excess red. But so far, I like the way. Yeah. Okay. So now for the crab. All right. So here's our crab cartridge. We're going to put that into the holder, and then we've got our paper holder. Now, you might be thinking, how are you going to cut this? Well, I'm going to slide this in, and this little piece is going to hang over the edge, but that's okay because we're not even going to cut all the way down here. See how it's just hanging over? So we've got this part in, and we're going to close it. Now, I don't want the crabs to start way up here at the edge. I kind of want them to start in the middle. So there's these little notches. And so I'm going to punch at the second, third, and fourth notch, and I'm not even going to punch down here. And you're going to see how that looks. Actually, I'm going to do it on this one first, because I might not even decide to do it out of the harsh ones. Maybe I'll just do it on the top and bottom, but I'm not sure. Okay, let me think about this. So it's going to punch them upside down. Let me punch it, and I'm going to see how it looks on here, and then we'll play with it. Okay, so I'm going to skip the first one, and I'm coming to the second one, and then I'm coming to the third, and I'm coming to the fourth. Okay, so I've got 6 curious crabs. Aren't they so cute? And they'll flip over and they're navy. But on the paper, I guess it doesn't matter because the crabs, the way they're walking, they can go any direction. I was thinking, that's gonna be weird. But now that I actually punch it and see it, it doesn't feel weird to me. But you see how it doesn't matter that we didn't punch down there. All right, so these are these knockout border maker punches, the ones that punch out of the paper. The best part is you get the border, but you also have the punch poop, and so they're just super fun border maker cartridges. So there isn't a border maker cartridge really that I don't like. I mean, I feel like I have to have them all, but I particularly like, oh, I was just talking and not paying attention, and I just punched into that. All right, let's see. What can we do to fix that? Well, I guess I could put them back in and no one will probably even notice. So when I stick it down, I'll probably just, so this one has a little straight edge because that's what happens when you talk. That's why you guys watch, right? Because you're like, yes, that is the kind of thing I do too. Now, it's not the end of the world. Actually, maybe I'll put that one back in and do it so that it kind of goes off. I kind of don't hate it. So it's one of those happy accidents. So I'm going to load this one back up and just do the same. That's what's beautiful about the paper holder, because you get the paper pulled out the exact same distance, and so if you make a boo-boo like that, you can throw it back in. Unlike something like the custom cutting system, the circles and ovals. I mean, if you mess that up, or if you don't complete your rotation, whew, it is really hard to ever find the right place again. Okay, so basically this is what this page is going to look like. And then I will add in, why does this always feel so crooked? And everyone watching is like, Tara, don't touch the camera. You just got it to focus again. All right. Yeah, but let me just review what that looks like. And that, again, if I hadn't punched through that, imagine what that would look like. And if I hadn't punched through there. Now I can punch the crabs here. And so if I hadn't punched there and there, just that is a great look. And then I can do the same thing here and here. But I think I'm going to leave these solid. And I could do this. You know, we did it at the top. No, that doesn't work. I would have had to make that decision before. Hold, please. Oh, yeah. How did I have this? There we go. A little bit like quilting, those of you like getting it all right. All right, so I think that's basically it. We're gonna add our mats. Yeah, I do too. I think it works out, Deb. And I don't know how I will do. I think I kind of like it like that. And then I can put a square or a circle there. And the same thing here. So I can put 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures on each page and do a title. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. Let's stick it down. Then I do have to pick up some photos for the retreats. Now this paper pack that I'm using, not the red cardstock, obviously, but this other paper was from the theme pack that Creative Memories came out with during COVID. And since this retreat was, how did I have this? From 2020, I decided that would be good. I want to leave room for about a 4x4 over here. So I'm going to kind of go over pretty far. I know angles, and especially when there's a sketch from Creative Memories with the angles, people get really like, panicky about it. But they look fun. And like I said, some people just don't like things at an angle. They like things to be at 90 degrees. I'm just adding some of the reverse side, some of the navy blue. These are little blue crabs onto the side there, and then I'll add my paper. All right, and then let's do the same over here. So if this isn't part of your collection, well, if you live around here, one of our schools is the sand crabs. Of course, we have a lot of folks that are from Maryland, a lot of folks that live on the beach. So this is a very popular punch already, as you can imagine. All right, so I'm going to just do kind of the opposite here. I think that's what we did. Because I like the angle, but I also like the symmetry. And thanks everyone for hopping on here early today. I know some of you might be in different time zones, so it's not necessarily ever, it's not at 12 and 7 for everyone. Okay, so that is the way our Curious Crab page ended up looking. And of course it looks a little funny without my other pictures on there, but we'll add them. And I love that you can see the red paper through, and I'll feel much better about this page when all this red is covered up a little bit. But I hope you'll try a page like that. So just 2 4x12 strips, cut them at an angle, and then remember, sandwich them together so that you can use both sides, and try to pick a paper that is you know, has contrasting sides, one that isn't exactly the same on both sides. Or of course you could just use four different, you know, sheets of paper, or two, you know, cardstock, and not use the flip side, but just use two different. The only problem is, well, will it work? You need those different angles. So play with it. That's what tool time's about. Hopefully, hopefully you'll try it out and not be afraid. And it's super fun. And you can try it. Another one that'd be fun with, I just grabbed another knockout punch. I had this one over here from the other night, is the flip-flops one. So that's another one that just cuts holes in. That maybe would have been fun to do up the side. And so I have flip-flops going up one side and crabs on the other, like that. Now, since my mat kind of covered over this one, it really didn't matter, but that'd be another fun one. So if you have the flip-flops, those are the ones I just grabbed that I had handy. All right, so now we're going to play with the fish net. Now, this is the border that everyone made at Camp Wanna Scrap a Lot. So we use the fish net, and then we use the little crabs. And what I did was we punched a strip out of the red, and that was an 1 3/4 inches. So you punch it out of the red paper, cut it 1 3/4 inches. Then the blue is 1.5 inches. That covers over your crabs, but then you're going to use the crab that punched out on top of the fish net. So that's a super easy one. But now I'm going to give you some variations of what you can do. And I'm going to use some stickers from Cabin Time, because even though it's called fishnet, I mean, I haven't seen where people have turned these crabs into, you know, other animals, but give people a second. I haven't like cut off legs or turned them upside down. Usually I do that, you know, kind of see what else they can be. Probably little flying saucers if you cut off their little pinchers. You know, if you're doing the, what's the Disney alien attack one. All right, so let me grab some paper. And this is just, this was from, I guess, Project Recipe. It's laying around here. That was a good one if you like to learn fun things to do with your border maker system. I taught everyone how to fold the paper on the Project Recipe. We made a border that didn't exist. Okay. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Okay, what am I doing? We're not using that. We're using this. Okay, so the key with this border punch is somewhere along the lines in the last 5 or so years, Creative Memories added these little tick marks to the front. So they correspond to this punching area in the back. See how that continues around. So you want to start somewhere in there. If you put your paper to flush to the edge, you're going to have a part that isn't cut. So you can really go start anywhere in this section. Okay, it doesn't have to be necessarily exactly on this line or this line, depending on which way you feed it. Now, when the pattern like this has no unique designs in it, and so the pattern on the side looks exactly the same, then they've added this little notch. See this little notch here? And so when you feed the piece through, and you'll see it when I punch it, they don't show it here, but you're going to see a little notch. And here's the little notch down here. So it punches a little notch so that it can be lined up appropriately. So I like to try to go as close as I can to that black line without going over. it's like the showcase showdown, right? You want to be as close without going over. Now, here is the notch. Can you see the notch? It's really hard to see. It's right. Let me put it on something dark. Okay, so now you can see that little notch that punched out. And that notch is what you want to line up with this notch right here. And then you know that it's lined up perfectly. Okay, so now that notch is covering, and now I can punch. And then the only other thing you need to make sure is that this is pushed up against the edge so that you get a nice clean cut and that you don't get any overlap. And if you feel any, like there was a little bit of resistance, so I'm going to clear out underneath because you don't want the little pieces to back up into the punch. Now, because I didn't start all the way at the edge, I'm going to need to do one more punch to get this little tiny little piece here. So I got to find my notch, and it seems really silly for that one little piece. But there it went. And because it was a tiny little piece, it did not like that. Oops, now I locked it on myself. Oh, well, I'm glad this is happening. So I can see the piece that is the problem. That little piece I was cutting off got stuck in there. So what you want to do is really and truly try to drop it on the hard surface. You heard me knocking it on the little table I have next to me. So this little piece got folded under. That was the offending piece. But if it gets stuck to you in that down position, then you just want, and then before you punch again, see that piece just flew out? You want to make sure that you don't, oh, and another little piece just fell out. You want to make sure that it's totally clear of all the little pieces. All right, and that's true of any of the border punches, even the little border maker cartridges. They can get jammed up with things inside. All right, so let's take a look at the punch poop from here. To me, these look like little scales. They're little rounded edges. So if you were doing like, I don't know, do you remember, anyone remember the book, The Rainbow Fish? From so long ago. I can see here, little piece got. All right, so that is what it looks like. Now I already used it in the traditional sense, if you will, on this little crab border. But we can also cut it. Well, let me sandwich it so that you can see what it looks like in between different things. You can use it coming off the edge. So you can kind of do this type of situation. You can even go even closer. So it's just this little rippled edge. You can back it up and go about halfway. In fact, you can cut it straight down the middle and add it that way, or you can cover it to that first little bubble. You can also cut it down the middle and flip it the other way. Let's do that. Let's cut it down the middle. So again, know which cutting surface you're on. I'm on number 2. So I'm lining up with the middle straight down the 2s. Okay, now I've got this situation. Now you can do like this. See how I offset them? We can trim off this top part and attach it back to the bottom. Has a fun little zigzag. We can separate them. If you're into like a traditional border, you can separate them like this, add a little space in the middle, add things up. And then just like I was showing you, you can take that edge on one side and then You can cut a border and have this coming out the other side, or you can layer them like this. So this is another really great, again, you're like, fishnet, I don't fish, I don't have fishnet. I mean, a fish, this would be fun if you were doing an 80s page and you had some, Madonna concert and you were in your fishnet stockings. Actually, at Volano, because we always have a pirate thing, we had someone in fishnet stockings in their pirate outfit. That would be fun too. I'm going to do one more. Now, because of the little notches, you do need to have a clean edge. So I'm going to have to trim off the little notches. So some punches are kind of, when you punch it, you get a nice clean edge after, which is great because if you're doing a couple of them, you don't have to stop in between. So I'm going to go more toward the middle so I don't have such a tiny little piece at the end. I need to line up my notch. I'm going to go 3 and move the punch poop out of the way. And one more. I think I had something stuck in there right from the get-go on the last go around. Okay, so again, move those off. The other thing you can do is cut these this way and layer them up. That's what I'm going to do right now. I've got some so I'm going to go 2 inches. And then I'm going to cut this one 1.5 inches. And okay, then I'm going to start chopping these at 1.5 inches. Which it looks like is 3 of these little sections. So that's good. Hold on, I just had an idea. Did you see me stop? So this is what I'm looking for. But if I want to offset it, I need to cut a couple. See what I'm doing there? I'm kind of stacking those. So then I would need to go cut this one a little bigger and then trim off some excess like that. I like to nestle them in, interlock pieces like that. So you can just take that as far as you want. Let's see, I need you do a couple more. And then this one needs to be a little longer. Okay, I'll leave 2 of them a little bit longer. Let me cut another 1.5 inches. Do you all still do like traditional borders like that, 2 on a side, or do you find yourself just using a border punch? Or I mean, back in the day, I feel like we did it more. We would have border classes, and we did that at Scrappapalooza last time. People could sign up for a border class. So I think I'm just going to add these on like that. Oh, I'm glad that you all are still saying hello. Make sure you do that so you're entered to win some CM credits today. All right, so I'm going to go like this. I don't even know what time it is. I didn't have my watch. Okay, we still have time. Little bit of time. My dad is here. He's visiting from the Phoenix area. And now I'm going to trim this off. But I'm not going to trim it with that. What am I doing? I'm going to trim it with this. Just going to take that to the edge. Today's his last day. He leaves in the morning. So that was one of the reasons for the change of time for me tonight. Okay. So this one, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same thing. Maybe I'll go 4 on this one. I like to do things, any sort of embellishments with, well, hello from Iowa. I like to do odd numbers of things. All right, let's see. And then I'm going to do this one at the top. So kind of like our other page, we will kind of go, we will alternate. These have a lot more. Oh, I need to do this one this way. These little longer ones have a little wiggle room for me to go back and forth. All right. So this does not scream fishnet any longer, right? That's the beauty of the, oh goodness, the beauty of our repositionable tape and silly nails. I cannot for the life of me pick that up. I like to make sure I get off that repositionable tape off my mat right away. That's why I kind of do it down here, so that it doesn't get on my mat. All right, now I can add that over. Now I'm using this with the cabin time stickers. I'm going to add some of those on here, but this design or this border is very versatile. It certainly no longer screams, you know, fishnet, does it? Okay, it helps if I put these on right. Goodness. That was so crooked. We're coming down the home stretch now. Here, life is better at the cabin, the great outdoors. Coffee is all you need, in my happy place. Decisions. Now those are borders, so I'm not going to use those. I kind of like it, just keep it simple with these trees. Of course, I don't want to cover up. All right. So I'm going to go like this. All right. So I've got some trees. So that would be fun for a page where you've got your little fire pit going. Of course, you could mix it up with, I could put the little cabin up there. But that's the beauty of just, if if you like to do borders, this is one of those activities you can do at a retreat too, where you just want to make up a bunch of borders with some stickers so that you have them for something that's coming up, and kind of put them together, especially if you know if you have an activity that's coming. In which case, I guess I had mountains on the mind because I've got my mountain retreats coming up this weekend. So we've got 2 mountain borders, and we've got our crab border with the fishnet. So hopefully you're going to add the fishnet to your collection. You'll see you'll need it whether you're a fisher person or not. And also the adorable little crabs, which I can't wait to get those pictures printed, and so I can get another retreat page done. All right. Well, hopefully you learned something new today or saw a punch in a new light. That's what we like to do on Tool Time, is see something in a different way. All right, let me switch back over to the other camera. And then we can do our drawing. So you do have to be present to win. Hopefully whoever we pick is still with us on the live stream. And we will see who our lucky winner is. Okay. Deb, congratulations, Deb. Are you still on? Hopefully Deb is still with us. We'll give her a second to chime in. No, there's a little bit of a delay. Thanks, Carla. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Faith. Yay! Congratulations, Deb. You are the winner. I know you'll have no trouble spending that $10 with all the new stuff that Creative Memories has coming out. And I have a feeling that because there was not a new release yesterday, we will have something great to preview this Friday. Yes, that's right, Deb. Thanks for being on here. So do stay tuned and watch for what's coming out next Monday. And don't forget to tune in next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for Let's Taco About It. And if you haven't watched that before, it's where scrappy ladies just like you kind of give their tips on how they get it done. So sometimes it's fun to hear people's thought process, how they scrapbook, how long they've been scrapbooking. I call it their scrappy process. So it's fun to hear about what people's scrappy process is. And since we'll be on a retreat, I'll be able to interview a couple of the ladies live at the retreat. So definitely tune in for that. And until I see you again, stay scrappy, my friends. Bye-bye.